It is Sen versus Axslav. Sen, the monster that he is going to be up against the big underdog. I think
Sen's uniform and orange jumpsuit.
Dude, it is so.
Did he audition for Prison Break? Worst show ever.
It was, you know, when I was back in the day.
Everyone watching this because Greetorp loves Prison Break.
No, okay, so like back in the day, I loved Prison Break. I thought it was literally like one of the best shows of all time.
I heard his first season was awesome, man.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, everything was great. Then after season 2, it was just like, oh my god, why am I watching this thing? It was just terrible. And at the time, you know, I'm like, you know, I don't know much about film. I'm from the East Coast. What do I know about film or anything about that? I come over to the Hollywood side. I meet up with my girlfriend now, and she was a film major. And she's just like, you think this is a good show? And she tears it apart, and I'm just like, I have nothing else to say because like everything that she says is completely valid, and the show is complete garbage. And that's my spiel.
That's like really tough things to say.
That's my spiel. It's like, yeah, this is a terrible show. I don't know why I ever liked it, and it's actually the worst show in the world.
That's okay, Andre, because we have one of the best shows in the
Boom.
world. Especially with Sen versus Axslav.
Oh,
Sen,
remember, higher pitch. Come on,
Sen, our red Zerg in the bottom left corner, will be up against Axslav, the blue Protoss in the top right.
Yes!
Axslav is placing a pylon on the low ground, trying to see if he can avoid going for any kind of gateway expand. Very stubborn in this fact. But you know what's so good about Axslav's play recently? Is that I think he's understanding his own limitations. I watched him play PvZ against Idra. Now people say, you know, that's not that impressive. You know, he beat Idra in the open bracket. But Axslav, he's been showing lots of patience. He came one round away from qualifying for group play in MLG open bracket. Cut that out.
Sorry.
But he came one match away, and all of a sudden people are like, Axslav in pool play, wouldn't he get demolished or like, you know, all this stuff? But that's just another foreigner that could have went in. He fell one round short. And Axslav, I think, is because he understands what he can do and can't do as Protoss, and he's immediately trying to work it around. Look at him being so annoying, just cannon blocking and pylon blocking the entire ability of Sen to expand. And this has got to be so annoying as a Zerg player. Sen has to get out a couple lings out, but then, you know, he's got to pull drones as well. And I like this.
Yeah, obviously this is really, really good. You're trading not a lot of minerals for a lot of mining time. This is almost always better off, but the big thing you're losing out on is actually tech. You don't have that you're losing that opportunity cost, which is to get the gateway down super fast. So it's very minor, but obviously it works out in that fashion. You can still progress on a little bit further. You know, Axslav has had a big confidence issue in his past. I think that's the number one thing that actually kills him. Whenever I talk to him, you know, the first thing I mention is, hey, Axslav, how's your matchups? And the normal thing that he says is, PvT is horrible. He hates PvT. It's like one of his worst matchups. And he's just been having a lot of trouble. And then, you know, I'll talk to him later and I'll be like, oh my god, Zerg is impossible right now. And I really think he's his worst enemy at this point. If he just gets over that, he will be one of the most fantastic North American players, or even a better, you know, that top tier North American players. Right now, he's just, you know, struggling, I think, in this mid-tier North America.
Yeah, I mean, Axslav is not bad by any means, just because he hasn't been able to. Zerglings! Oh, they get this round on the probes. That stings. And now Sen's in. He's gonna be able to harass everything. Now this is not game ending. This is just very annoying, and Axslav can just deal with this very calmly. He is sending a lot of probes in pursuit. But you know, Axslav, the biggest thing is that he can't really do anything as long as these Zerglings are in. And, oh man, he's losing 2 Zerglings, and Sen's the one who keeps his units alive. Man, this is good micro from Sen.
Amazing micro from Sen. Not only that, he gets to see everything. I mean, this is a gigantic win from early game stage. Income tab is showing 28 to 27. They are even, but they're going to spread apart pretty fast here as the triple hatch threat, that triple inject, everything about it is so impressive. And Sen is going to be building 4 drones for every 1. Well, not quite. That's what Rotterdam always says. But he's going to be probably making, I think it's like 2.5 drones to every 1 probe that Axslav makes if he doesn't chrono boost.
Yeah. Oh, good trap from Axslav to really finish the deal, and all of a sudden Axslav now has a little bit more flexibility to do what he wants. He's compiled a good number of gas. Now Axslav has been playing a lot of Stargate in PvZ when I watched over his shoulder, and he's kind of been experimenting with a little pressure of that, but now that Zerglings are in, all these times are really weird, and so he might have to really improvise from this spot. Look at that, he's going to place 3 gateways to make 4 with +1, but it's at a very interesting spot. It's at the natural right outside here.
Yeah, this isn't normally a place that you look to find gateways.
Wow.
And look at this, he actually has 3 gateways in the back here. Probably another gateway going down pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Look,
he's going for 8 gate.
No probes really on gas. He is just going to go mass zealots from here on out, and maybe sprinkle in a couple of stalkers here and there.
This is a variation of what Sake chooses to do and MC, where you go for a very low amount of gas and you just really punish with a huge amount of zealots. And it's just before they're able to get roaches out. And Axslav, you never know, man. If he micros really well, he might be able to do anything. But look at that control from Sen. Able to keep that queen alive, which is able to get another inject, and that can make all the difference.
But he is droning behind this. He got 5 additional drones, 53 to 36 harvesters. He might have over-droned right now, Frodan. It's going to be very difficult, but a round of roaches are coming out here. And now it's mass stalkers. I like this. So it's going to be a lot of stalkers. That's going to do a lot of DPS. Then he just keeps funneling a ton of zealots. Those are going to be the tanking units. And it's going to be very effective, but once those roaches pop out, I mean, it's going to really depend on whether or not he's able to kite all of these units.
Yeah, this is, again, a timing that Sen's not used to. He's forced to pull his drones immediately. Now, he does have roaches. His queen is pretty weak as well, trying to see if they can engage fully here, but the zealots are now working as well. 6 more roaches and 8 lings, as Sen is going to lose his 3rd hatchery. But I like this decision from Sen to pull his drones and immediately kind of evacuate. There's no point in trying to hold on to it if you can't defend it.
That's correct. But from here, Sen doesn't really have a big advantage. He does have, well, what he has to try to shoot for is the composition advantage, which is just a ton of roaches, like a huge amount of roaches, because your opponent doesn't have the ability to force field. It's still very difficult. We're going to see if he has what it takes to actually micro against this. He needs space, which he's doing right now, space to actually start working on those zealots so he can finally work on those stalkers.
Yeah, and Axslav still is not in the clear yet. He needs enough so that there's no surround possible on his stalkers, but he is playing very dangerously. Sen has spread his creep really well, and you can see Axslav trying to kite back as far as he can for more reinforcements, but Axslav is falling back at this point, as Axslav doesn't have that strong an economy. He's only got 39 probes and 12 stalkers onto the field. Sen looks like he's stabilizing. He's pushing the army completely back.
He has to push right now because his opponent is weakest right now. If he waits a little bit longer, there aren't going to be any critical upgrades that actually help him defend against some sort of stalker sentry timing. That's why he's pushing right now. And you can see the roaches just crushing the stalker so easily. That is the main DPS. I don't know how Axslav will defend against this.
Oh, and Sen finished his speed just in the nick of time to trap all the units. It doesn't even matter if the Zealots are able to engage straight up. Sen able to really trap all the units, and that should be able to destroy the remaining